Colby here from the Meech and Colby podcast. NFL draft has came, it's finished, all the rounds have come, but the quarterbacks going in the first round is what everybody's here to talk about. Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Trevor Lawrence, and of course Zach Wilson all got drafted in the top 15. And everybody was really expecting those quarterbacks to be the first names taken off the board, and obviously they were. And we're going to go over all their landing spots today and some expectations that we have for them for this upcoming season. We're going to start from the last quarterback drafted, and that would be Mac Jones to the New England Patriots. He fell 15, and the Patriots didn't have to trade up. Bill Belichick got a quarterback at 15, didn't have to give up any assets to move up. The offense is built for a quarterback like Mac and his play style. Obviously, last year they had some problems with the pass catchers, but this year they really fixed that, bringing in guys like Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, short pass catchers, and obviously having James White alongside him in the backfield will be nice. It fits well with their Patriots history. Pocket passers, stand in the back, guys like Jimmy G, Brady, Matt Castle, Bledsoe are all guys that Belichick and Mac and Josh McDaniels have had success with him before in the past. And most definitely, he's really non-mobile, and he's a game manager. That's what New England's looking for. They tried their thing with Cam this year. It didn't look too good. But I think it's definitely Cam's job to lose, and I think Mac is going to really have to prove himself in training camp. But Bill got his guy without having to trade up. The fourth quarterback drafted was Justin Fields going to the Chicago Bears. Chicago struggled with their quarterback position all offseason long, trying to get guys like Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. They offered up a lot of draft capital to try to get those guys, but they just weren't able to get the deal done. And by trading up to get Justin Fields, they gave up their future assets with the future first, their first this year, and a couple future late round picks. But Justin Fields is a proven baller, a proven stud, able to go to Chicago, finally get their guy, battle it out with Andy Dalton. We're not sure who will be the starter. But Pace and Nagy are on the hot seat over there in Chicago, so they really needed to make a move, get their guy, and Justin Fields looked like he's going to be that guy. In the draft, he's a proven baller. He went head-to-head with Trevor Lawrence multiple times throughout his high school and college career, and Chicago should be very, very excited to have this guy. Third quarterback drafted, went third overall. 49ers shocked everybody and went with Trey Lance after multiple discussions of going for Mac Jones. Shanahan didn't get his guy in Mac Jones. That's who he said that he wanted all along. Afterwards, he said that they wanted Trey Lance, but that was just media coach talk. Instead, it's going to be probably Jimmy Garoppolo as a starter this year because he is a proven starter. He brought them to the Super Bowl. He's played multiple years in that system, and Trey Lance is a guy coming from North Dakota who really needs to develop, and his game is going to be amazing one of these days, but just not right now to go step in and start on a Super Bowl caliber roster. And it's going to be a Mahomes Alex Smith type relationship, a lot of people think. Jimmy G is going to take the starting year for a job. He's a veteran in this league. He's going to bring him to the playoffs, do his thing, and Trey Lance is going to be able to develop behind him for a whole year under Shanahan's guidance. Lance has had a small but impressive sample size at North Dakota State. That's why he went third. But guys like Wilson, Lawrence went ahead of him. But a lot of people thought that they should have went Fields here. Just a proven athlete. But if Trey Lance is the guy, he has a great O-line, one of the best tight ends in football, great pass catchers in Deebo Samuel, those cats out there, and they have an elite defense that's just proven the ball every single year. And if he does start, I think that Jimmy G is a starter out there. But if he doesn't get the opportunity to start, he has a great opportunity for Rookie of the Year with that roster around him. The second overall pick in the draft was the New York Jets, and they had an opportunity to move back, kind of fill out that roster, get a lot of picks, but they thought they had their guy. So they just chose Zach Wilson with the second overall pick. I think the situation is very similar to the Sam Darnold situation, as Zach Wilson has to come on to a very bad roster. There's a reason why they had the second pick. And he's going to have to be the savior of the New York Jets with a not good O-line, decent pass catchers, not a good run game, and obviously the defense isn't that good. And he's going to be the savior there. And he has a pretty reckless play style and a huge arm. That's his biggest highlight is his arm. He's a highlight maker, and in New York, he's going to be having to throw the ball deep down the field a lot at the end of games when they're trailing in games, and I just feel like him throwing the ball deep at the end of games recklessly out of the pocket with a bad O-line, unproven head coach, unproven pass catchers, I just think it's a recipe for disaster for him out there not being able to find the guys that he needs. And in a system like that, New York, who hasn't proven to had a successful quarterback since I don't know if you want to call Mark Sanchez successful, but he brought them to the playoffs in some playoff games. And they think they have their guy in Zach Wilson, but I'm not sure that was the right pick. Robert Saleh has a new regime out there, and he's got to keep his guy out of reckless situations, last minute. Who knows how he's going to act in the 2 minute drill? And Zach Wilson is just in a very Sam Darnold like situation, and I don't think the Jets are going to get much brighter. And obviously, the first overall pick, many people knew this. They pretty much knew this since he was a freshman in college, was Trevor Lawrence going to Jacksonville from Clemson to be their savior. Urban and Trevor are going to bring a new culture to Jacksonville, a new swag, something that Jacksonville hasn't had in recent years. Trevor's going to have pretty decent first year options. I wouldn't say anything amazing. He's going to have a Pro Bowl receiver in DJ Chark. James Robinson, Leonard Chenault will be out there with him, but they were the worst team in the league for a reason. That defense did need some holes to be patched up this offseason. And Trevor Lawrence does have a lot of work to do, but he does have tons of upside. A lot of people are saying Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck when you think about Trevor Lawrence. He is an elite guy with some of the best arm strength in this draft class by far. Mobility to move out of the pocket, and if anybody in this draft is going to be a savior, it would be Trevor Lawrence for a franchise. And they obviously get to combine him, bring back his college teammate and Travis Etienne, and they're going to be reunited in Jacksonville. Speaking of reunited this draft, a lot of quarterbacks, current and from college, are reuniting with guys who they've played with, kind of bringing in familiarity, keeping their quarterbacks happy. That's what these teams need to do with young stud quarterbacks. Joe Burrow got his teammate from LSU, Jamar Chase. Early first round pick, so they went with the O lineman. Who knows? But he got his friend in Jamar Chase. Tua and Jalen Waddle come back together in Miami. Old teammates in Alabama, you already know. Hurts gets Devontae Smith, wide receiver, quarterback duo that played in college, now coming to you in the NFL. You already know they're keeping these young QBs happy. And speaking of that Devontae Smith trade, the Eagles got to snag him right before the Giants did, so that was kind of a 2-for-1 killer for them. And Trevor Lawrence obviously gets to run it back with his college running back in Jacksonville. Thank you guys for listening to the Meech and Colby podcast. Talk to you about a little sports YouTube. We'll be back at you with more content, more sports, more hip hop, more movies. Anything you guys want from us, we're going to be dropping content. Check us out on the IG podcast. Thank you.